अश्विनी माता जी।
ओ हरे कृष्णा माता जी, मैं आपको ही देख रही थी। आप आते हो तो बाहर आती है।
जी, नहीं
आप
नहीं,
आते हो
आप
तो अच्छी लगती है।
आते हो तो माता जी को आपकी एब्सेंस बहुत लगती है। वो हमेशा आपके बारे में पूछते हैं।
ओ सो स्वीट, सो
हाँ।
Can we
आप
start?
नहीं आते तो माता जी पूछते हैं कि आप नहीं
Can we
आए।
start?
या,
All right. वासुदेवाय ॐ भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतस्य सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ॐ अज्ञानातिमिरान्धकाय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथं विसंतं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमस्ते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम श्रीपदाय कृष्णवस्त्राभितरे प्रमुखानिधि प्रिय श्री गिरिराजाय स्वामी सुभक्तरवास विहरिदेशात्मदायिनि वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुः एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। मुखं करोति वाचालं करोति श्री गुरुदेव। हरे कृष्ण। So we are reading Mala and Anupama Mishra supposed to join, right? Let's look at this. Who said they will join? Mala said, okay, Anupama is joining now.
Sure.
And Mala, she joining? Mala?
Mala, I tried to call her. She said she will join. I'll again call her up on the
Fine, okay.
sideline.
All right, fine. So we are on text 17, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, and text 17. So we're going to complete this chapter today. Shradhaya paraya taptam tapasthatrividham narahe afalakham shiddhirukte sadvikam parichakshate. This threefold austerity performed with present faith by men, not expecting material benefits, but engaged only for the sake of the Supreme, is called austerity in goodness. So this is winding up this topic of austerity. Now, so actually we should start with 18. So there's austerity, so tapasya, penance, and charity. These are the three sections here. Satkaramana pujartham tapodambhena chaiva yat yate tat Iha Puttam Raja Sanchalam Adruvam. So austerity means like control of the senses, mind and senses. It's like controlling it, you know. Like we heard, austerity of speech consists in speaking words that are truthful, pleasing, beneficial, and not agitating to others, and also in regularly reciting the Vedas. So this austerity, tapa, is referring to control of the mind and sense, meaning like you're feeling the urge, you know, vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jiva vegam, udara upasta vegam. Like you're feeling the urge to open your mouth or any of the vega, any of the indriya, but you control it. Hmm? So now penance. So this penance. Penance performed out of pride. Penance performed out of pride for the sake of gaining respect. Honor and worship is said to be in the mood of passion. It is neither stable nor permanent. Sometimes penance and austerity are executed to attract people and receive honor, respect, and worship from others. Persons in the mode of passion arrange to be worshipped by subordinates and let them wash their feet and offer riches. Such arrangements artificially made by the performance of penances are considered to be in the mode of passion. The results are temporary. They can be continued for some time, but they are not permanent. Oh my God. So, you know, it's like here we are keeping fasting, right? All those vrat that we do. So we do it for the sake of, you know, everybody say, oh, you know, this is a great tapasvi. You know? So they eat only fruits for 4 months during Chaturmasya. Or they go on parikrama. You know, they do so many parikrama. And then they come back. Here's the hero who completed, you know, the parikrama. Whatever these penances, meaning abstaining from something. And in order to receive honor, so you attract people, so just see he's a great tapasvi. And then people think now you're very powerful, or you have done so much tapasya, you're very powerful. So now please give me blessings, right? That's what happens in India. They go to see all those sadhus who have done so much tapasya. So now give me, you know, blessings. Can you see my hand? What's going to happen, you know? So you have become very like mystic. So you have so much power. So if you will utter the words, then things are going to be very good for my family. If you will give your blessing, your prayers, then things will move on very nicely. So they arranged, Prabhupada is saying, so they receive honor, respect, and worship from others. So persons in the mode of passion arranged to be worshipped by subordinates. So now you say, yeah, he's a great Mahatma, right? He has done parikrama, you know, gone to Char Dham, the whole of India, bare feet with it. So when he come back, he's like celebrated. So penance has to be done, but not like this. Muddha grahena manoyat idaya kriyate tapaha parasyot sadhanartham va tattamasam udahritam. Penance performed out of foolishness, with self-torture or to destroy, injure others is said to be in the mode of ignorance. There are instances of foolish penance undertaken by demons like Hiranyakashipu, who perform austere penances to become immortal and kill the demigods. He prayed to Brahma for such things, but ultimately he was killed by the Supreme Person Godhead. To undergo penances for something which is impossible is certainly in the mode of ignorance. Just like the Pandavas. The Pandavas are immortal. And nobody could kill them. And even then, like when Duryodhana was defeated, you know the story? How when the Pandavas went on exile, so they had to go in the forest. So then Duryodhana said, let me go and, and just check on them, how they are doing. So what he did, he carried his whole army, his whole relatives, he set up like an enjoying party just opposite to where the Pandavas were in exile, just to show off, right? So he went to a lake to take bath, and one Gandharva caught him, Duryodhana. So the news reached the Pandavas on the other side that Duryodhana has been captured. So immediately all the Pandavas, they went and they fought with the Gandharva and released Duryodhana. So Duryodhana was so humiliated, super humiliated, how that the Pandavas came to his rescue, because they're one family. So family members, they may fight among themselves, but when some outside enemy come, so they come together and they fight the outside person. But Duryodhana has such an ahankar. He was totally humiliated. I don't know who rescued him. I think Arjun rescued him. Anyway, so what he did, he said, I will commit suicide. So he started fasting, and he went into a deep meditation, and everybody, whoever in his party was trying to get him out, he wouldn't. He just said he will commit suicide. Then, oh my God, while he was in that deep meditation, the Danavas came into his mind and said, actually, we are going to take birth and enter your bodies. We will, and so on that battlefield of Kurukshetra, the Danavas, they actually enter the bodies of the Kauravas, and they enter the bodies also of Bhishma and Drona, everybody. And the fight was not against the Devas, it was not against the Pandavas. The fight was actually between the Danavas and the Devas, and the 5 Pandavas were the Devas. So the Danavas entered their body and they fought. Now, Duryodhana kept on hearing that you cannot kill the 5 Pandavas. They are immortal. Again and again that message was coming to him, but he thought, no. The Danavas said they will enter, the bodies of the Kauravas, and they will fight and they will win. So they lost everything. So this is penance performed out of foolishness, with self-torture or to destroy or injure others. So when he went in his, fasting to death, right? This is like, he did fasting to death. But finally, he came out strong, very strong. But what's the purpose? To injure others. Text 20. Datavyam iti yaddanam diyate nupakarine deshakale cha patre cha taddanam sadvikam sritam. Charity given out of duty without expectation of return at the proper time and place, and when a worthy person is considered to be in the mode of goodness. So now remember, this is austerity, penance, and charity. In the Vedic literature, charity given to a person engaged in spiritual activities is recommended. There is no recommendation for giving charity indiscriminately. Spiritual perfection is always a consideration. Therefore, charity is recommended to be given at a place of pilgrimage and at lunar or solar eclipses, or at the end of the month, or to a qualified Brahmana or Vaishnava devotee, or in temples. Such charity should be given without any consideration of return. Charity to the poor is sometimes given out of compassion. But if a poor man is not worth giving charity to, then there is no spiritual advancement. In other words, indiscriminate charity is not recommended in the Vedic literature. So here Prabhupada is saying that charity should be given to a person engaged in spiritual activities. So, in Vrindavan, last time when I was there, I think the last couple of years when I was there, see the devotees, what they do. So when they take Diksha, so they go out and they collect Dakshina, right? So this one man, every day, he's outside the temple, he's saying Dakshina, Dakshina, Diksha, Dakshina, Diksha, Dakshina. Can you imagine? So he has seen the devotees collect, so now, so everybody, now we know he's a cook, right? He's a cook. This is what happens. So they're imitating the devotees. And God knows whether anybody gave him or not. So they imitate the beggars, they imitate the Vaishnavas or the Brahmanas who go begging. So spiritual perfection is always a consideration. Therefore, charity is recommended to be at a place of pilgrimage. So where to give? In place of pilgrimage, at lunar or solar eclipses. So now eclipses are going to come, right? Solar and lunar eclipses. I don't know. I guess these are muhurta, right? I have no idea what it is. Or at the end of the month, meaning you got your salary, right? At the end of the month. Or to a qualified Brahmana or a Vaishnava, meaning individually you can give, or in temples. Place of pilgrimage, qualified Brahmana or Vaishnava, temples. These are three. Without consideration of return. Not that, you invite this devotee Brahmana, you serve him, very nicely. And then when you find that the person is not reciprocating, immediately you discard the person. Okay, that also we have seen. Immediately, no longer interested. Why? Because you have at the back of your mind, you're thinking it is a pious deed. It's a pious deed to give charity to this devotee, this Brahmana. You're thinking of yourself. You're not actually in the mood of service. So as soon as we find there is no reciprocation from the other party, immediately we stop. So here it says without expectation of return. Text 21. Yattu pratyupa kartartham phalam uddishya punaha iyate cha pariklishtam taddanam rajasamsritam. But charity performed with the expectation of some return, or with a desire for fruitive results, or in a grudging mood is said to be charity in the mode of passion. Charity is sometimes performed for elevation to the heavenly kingdom, and sometimes with great trouble and with repentance afterwards. Why have I spent so much money in this way? Charity is also sometimes given under some obligation at the request of a superior. These kinds of charity are said to be in the mode of goodness. You how to force people, give, right? Don't want to give. So at the request of a superior, I mean, it didn't come from the heart, but the person actually wants to give. They have to be prompted. Oh, he's bugging me, so I give. So this is charity and mode of passion. Then we gave and then say, oh, why did I give? It was too much. I gave too much. I should have given only this much. So repent. Or we are giving because we are hoping we'll go to Swargadom. There are many charitable foundations which offer their gifts to institutions where self-gratification goes on. Such charities are not recommended in the Vedic scripture. Only charity in the mode of goodness is recommended. 22. Adeshakale yaddanam apatrebhyascha diyate asakritam avagyatam tattamasam udaharitam. And charity performed at an impure place, at an improper time, to unworthy persons or without proper attention and respect is said to be in the mode of ignorance. Contributions for indulgence in intoxication and gambling are not encouraged here. That sort of contribution is in the mode of ignorance. Such charity is not beneficial. Rather, sinful persons are encouraged. So, it's just like, this man cannot afford a drink. So, okay, let me pay the drink for him. All right. Similarly, if a person gives charity to a suitable person, but without respect and without attention, that sort of charity is also said to be in the mode of darkness. So you're giving a donation, but you give it without respect and without attention. It happens to us. Somebody gives some charity, but give without respect and without attention. You don't have to accept. Even if you accept, you will pass it on to somebody else. Now this last section. Om Amanas Devidha Smitaha Ramanastena Vedascha Yagyecha Vihitaha Pura. From the beginning of creation, the three words Om Tat Sat were used to indicate the supreme absolute truth. These three symbolic representations are used by Brahmanas while chanting the hymns of the Vedas and during sacrifices for the satisfaction of the Supreme. It has been explained that penance, sacrifice, charity, and food are divided into three categories. The modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance. And whether first class, second class, or third class, they are all conditioned, contaminated by the material modes of nature. When they aim at the supreme Om Tat Sat, the supreme person Godhead, the eternal, they become means for spiritual elevation. In the scriptural injunctions, such an objective is indicated. These three words, Om Tat Sat, particularly indicate the absolute truth, the supreme person Godhead. In the Vedic hymns, the word Om is always found. So when we are doing all these yagya, tapasya, and dan, so we don't do it for sense gratification or to satisfy others. We do it to please Krishna. And we use the syllable Om Tat Sat. One who, see, this is all science. This is all science. And see, naturally in India, people, they have these three, it's inbuilt that they should do this. It's natural to them. But there's so much distortion. Distortion due to effect of time. Okay, so now Srila Prabhupada is again educating and showing how to do it. And Prabhupada is just saying, you know, sometimes people, they want to chant some mantra like that Gayatri mantra, right? They just want to chant the Gayatri mantra, but it's nishfal. If there is no guru who is giving the Gayatri mantra, it's nishfal. However many times you can recite, it's nishfal. Guru has to give, and it is to be chanted silently. Not like the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna Mahamantra is given openly, freely to everybody. And it is chanted loudly, softly both. One who acts without following the regulations of the scriptures will not attain the absolute truth. He will get some temporary result, but not the ultimate end of life. So all this, we may get a job, we may get a child, we may get a husband, we get a wife, etc., etc. But not the ultimate end of life, meaning you don't become interested in spiritual life. When you practice these four properly, yagya, tapasya, and dana, if you do it properly, the result will be that the soul awakens and you start to inquire about the absolute truth. Why is it that we go again and again to the same person and collect donation? Every Janmashtami, every book month. Why do we go again and again? Because by giving like this, gradually they get elevated, and one day they tell you, sit down, let us speak about Bhagavad Gita. If they have done all this properly, they will come to the point where they will start to inquire about the Supreme Person Godhead. The conclusion is that the performance of charity, sacrifice, and penance must be done in the mode of goodness. Performed in the mode of passion or ignorance, they are certainly inferior in quality. So Prabhupada said earlier that they may get, maybe they may get some material benefit from whatever they're doing. See, if we give charity, then I may get something in return. People may start appreciating and say, he's very dani, this person. So you get a position in society. Or he's great tapasvi. So you get worship from people. So, but very soon, as soon as you make a mistake, immediately you pull down. But the mode of passion and ignorance, they are certainly inferior in quality. The three words Om Tat Sat are uttered in conjunction with the holy name of the Supreme Lord. For example, Om Tat Vishnu. Whenever a Vedic hymn of the holy name of the Supreme Lord is uttered, Om is added. This is the indication of Vedic literature. These three words are taken from Vedic hymns. Om iti etad brahmano nedhishtam nama. Rig Ved so this indicates the first goal. So Om, right? Then Tattvam Asi, Chandogya Upanishad 6.87, indicates the second goal. And Sad Eva Somya from Chandogya Upanishad 6.21, indicate the third goal. And they become Om Tat Sat. creator living entity performs sacrifices, he indicated by these three words the Supreme Person Godhead. Therefore, the same principle has always been followed by disciplic succession. So, this hymn has great significance. Bhagavad Gita recommends, therefore, that any work done should be done for Om Tat Sat, or for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When one performs penance, charity, and sacrifice, with these three words, he is acting in Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is scientific execution of transcendental activities which enables one to return home back to Godhead. There is no loss of energy in acting in such a transcendental way. You know, sometimes you take up a service for Krishna. You put in so much of your time and energy and everything flopped, right? Everything flopped and nothing came out from it. Like this afternoon I was going through my computer. So many courses that we had designed that has flopped. Zero. And I'm just looking. I'm thinking how much time and energy we have invested in this. How many devotees gave their input? How much even money we have spent? Everything flopped. So here, this is a good reassurance. So Prabhupada is saying that whatever we do, that we are advancing in Krishna's service, meaning that if it would have succeeded, then become more Krishna conscious. So we didn't succeed, but who did we please? We please Krishna. And therefore, it goes in our bank account. Service to Krishna. Here on earth, it came to zero. Sitting, making a list of all my flop courses. But here, Prabhupada is saying there is no loss of energy in acting in such a transcendental way. Om Tat Sat.
Mataji, one question, Mataji. So that means when we recite any verses or we learn any verses, it is not for ourselves. The mood should be to please Krishna. Like suppose I recite Bhagavad Gita, then the mood should be to please Krishna.
Yes, and you want to perform Krishna's mission, right? You're not gathering followers for yourself. You want to give the knowledge of Krishna. That's why you're interested to have classes, right? It's not to show off your knowledge or to keep yourself busy because you have nothing else to do, right? No, you are doing it because you know how important it is to Krishna. So this is the more the attitude. Okay. Margie, can you read 24?
Tasmadomiti udaritya yagnadana tapakriya pravartante vidhanoktaha satatam brahma valina. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Therefore, transcendentalists undertaking performances of sacrifice, charity, and penance in accordance with scriptural regulations begin always with Om to attain the Supreme. Purport. Om Tat Vishnu Param Padam, Rigved 1.22.20. The lotus feet of Vishnu are the supreme devotional platform. The performance of everything on behalf of the Supreme Personality of Godhead assures the perfection of all activity.
Okay, so now this is Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam. So this is the lotus feet. So Om is indicating what? In this mantra, Om Tat Sat. Om is indicating what?
Krishna. Om is Krishna.
Vishnu.
Vishnu.
Meaning attaining the lotus feet of Vishnu. You are doing an activity to attain the lotus feet of Vishnu. Okay, go on.
Tad iti anabhishan Vishandhaya phalam yagna tapa kriya dana kriyascha vividha kriyante moksha kankshibhi. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Without desiring fruitive results, one should perform various kinds of sacrifice, penance, and charity with the word Tat. The purpose of such transcendental activities is to get free from material entanglement. Purport: to be elevated to the spiritual position, one should not act for any material gain. Acts should be performed for the ultimate aim of being transferred to the spiritual kingdom, back to home, back to Godhead.
The word tat is indicating the execution of activities for the pleasure of Krishna and not for material gain. So Om is indicating first is fixing the object, right? So our objective is to attain the lotus feet of the Lord. Tat is saying, what are you going to do to attain the lotus feet of the Lord? Now last. Yeah, Indira, sorry, let Shikala read, 26, 27.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. सद्भावे साधुभावे च सदित्येत्र युज्यते प्रशस्ते कर्मणि तथा सत् शब्दः पार्थयुज्यते यज्ञे तपसि दाने च स्थिति सदिति च उच्यते कर्म चैव तदर्थीयं सदित्येवाभिधीयते. The absolute truth is the object of devotional sacrifice, and it is indicated by the word Sat. The performer of such sacrifice is also called Sat, as are all works of sacrifice, penance, and charity, which true to the absolute nature are performed to please the Supreme Person, O son of Pritha. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The words prasaste karmani or prescribed duties indicate that there are many activities prescribed in the Vedic literature which are purificatory processes beginning from the time of conception up to the end of one's life. Such purificatory processes are adopted for the ultimate liberation of the living entity. In all such activities, it is recommended that one vibrate Om Tat Sat. The words Sat Bhave and Sadhu Bhave indicate the transcendental situation. Acting in Krishna consciousness is called Sattva, and one who is fully conscious of the activities of Krishna consciousness is called a Sadhu. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 3.25.25, it is said that the transcendental subject matter becomes clear in the association of the devotees. The words used are satam prasangat, satam prasangat. Without good association, one cannot achieve transcendental knowledge. When initiating a person or offering the sacred thread, one vibrates the words Om Tat Sat. Similarly, in all kinds of performance of yagna, the object is the Supreme, Om Tat Sat. The word Tad Arthyam further means offering service to anything which represents the Supreme, including such service as cooking and helping in the Lord's temple, or any other kind of work for broadcasting the glories of the Lord. These supreme words Om Tat Sat are thus used in many ways to perfect all activities and make everything complete.
Okay, so this is a complicated purport, all right? So better we read it again. So Om, what is Om?
No, Vishnu.
Why do we utter the word Om?
Because the objective is Vishnu.
We want to indicate the objective of the worship Om Tat Vishnu. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Narayanamah. Right? We are so Om, so we are indicated, and the name is associated with it. So it is the indication of the person. What is that?
The activity done to attain the lotus feet.
Yes. Okay, now Sat. What is Sat? Om Tat Sat. The absolute truth, Sadbhavi, is the objective of devotional sacrifice. So whatever devotional sacrifice you are doing, because you want to achieve the absolute truth. You're not doing it to satisfy yourself or self-satisfaction. Now the more self-contentment, self-satisfaction. The performer of such sacrifice is also called Sat. So meaning the objective is Sat, because this is real. All right. The performer is also Sat, Sadhu. And all the works that he's doing is also Sat. Like all these, time that we waste in school, which is supposed meant for Swadhyay, how many hours do you spend? How much money you waste? This is all Asat. Because everybody knows you spend your whole life saving, or you take debt, you send a child for study and they come out and say, I don't want to work. I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this. So all Asat, waste of time. Whereas we read before that, even if you meant for Krishna props, but no loss of energy. Krishna is accepted, Bhavagrahi. You are working to please Krishna, and if Krishna accepts the endeavor, and how do you know Krishna accepts? Because you feel so happy. You just feel, and you're not dejected, you're not morose. You don't commit suicide if your project fails. So therefore, the performer is Sat, and the works of sacrifice, penance, charity, etc., they are also Sat. Why? Because they perform to please the Supreme Person. So there was prashaste karmani, or prescribed duty, indicate that there are many activities prescribed. So now this prescribed duty, meaning that, see, when you take birth, it's a pain from when you reach the age of 5. Because now your parents are constantly telling you what to do, what not to do. Right? So it's a real pain for the parent, and it is a pain for the child. Right? Constantly you have to say, don't do this, don't do this, do this, right? So being a human being has so much responsibility. A human being has to accept so much purification, otherwise just be an animal. Just be an animal. Meaning eat, drink, and be merry, and go and fight with everybody and anyone for your survival. So prescribed duty in the Vedic society, why go to Viva Samskar? Just live together, it's done. Why accumulate so much money to get a boy and a girl married? Sex is sex, right? Do it openly. Why so much? Right? So these prescribed duties, they are purificatory process. I mean, the samskar. The samskar, meaning there, when you do these, they restrain your mind and senses. Train you. And when you're restrained, like we spoke of austerity, then your intelligence Agya chakra, right, can open and you can understand. Otherwise, you remain an animal. Such purificatory processes are adopted for the ultimate liberation of the living entity. So, the Vedic culture has one aim, it is liberation of the living entity. So, if I will do austerity, penance, and give charity only for my own pleasure, or out because somebody is telling me do, therefore I do, or for show or whatever, and not for liberation of the living entity, after some time you get bored of it, and therefore what do? You fall into sinful life. You say, let it be, let me just give, relax, let me relax. Why should I always work uphill? Let me just relax and let things happen. Right? So in all such activities, it is recommended that one vibrate Om Tat Sat. So whatever work you are doing, if your aim is Krishna, then Om Tat Sat. The words Sad Bhave and Sadhu Bhave indicate the transcendental situation. Just like, I don't know, some of you may have gone for this Kerala Ayurvedic, oiling and massage and panchakarma, right? Like we saw, these women, they will offer that oil before they start that massage, they will pray, isn't it? You saw? They will pray and they've got the picture of Dhanvantari there. And then when apply, so they're doing this, Om Tat Sat. Even in their ordinary work, they're doing Om Tat Sat. Then when the next generation came, they immediately put you on the, on the bed, and they just put the oil, finish. No Om Tat Sat. Right? They don't last. They don't last. So I just gave the example. It's such a menial work. Such a menial work to oil somebody and give bath to that person and remove all the muck from his body or her body. It's such menial work. But Om Tat Sat. So this is their prescribed duty. By the laws of nature, they have adopted this type of profession, and they made the profession perfect by Om Tat Sat. Acting in Krishna consciousness is called Sattva. And one who is fully conscious of the activities of Krishna consciousness is called a sadhu. So who is a sadhu?
One who is fully conscious of the activities of Krishna consciousness.
So one who is conscious that
Is
he
in
should
Krishna's
act only in Krishna consciousness. Who is a sadhu, right? So he's watching his own lifestyle, and he's watching his own work. So he's conscious of this. He wants to act only in Sattva. In Srimad Bhagavatam 3.25, it is said that the transcendental subject matter becomes clear in the association of the devotees. The words used are satam prasanga. Without good association, one cannot achieve transcendental knowledge. When initiating a person or offering the sacred thread, one vibrates the words Om Tat Sat. So this Diksha is actually initiation into knowledge. And giving that sacred thread, so Prabhupada explained what is that sacred thread. it is just like you have a symbol. When you graduate, you'd wear, I don't know, a cloak and a cap, right? So similarly, in the Vedic culture, they have that sacred thread. So meaning that this person has approached a spiritual master in order to get knowledge. This is the meaning of that sacred thread. So Prabhupada is saying that when you initiate a person's initiation into what? Initiation into knowledge. And in our case, we take the vow, which I'm sure was never taken before. No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. In Kali Yuga now, Prabhupada has to spell it out. You promise you're not going to commit sinful activities, right? And what is your yajna? Your tapasya is those 4, right? And what is your yajna? It is chanting the holy name. This is your yajna. And what is your dan? You have to give dakshina, right? Not only dakshina to the guru, whole life has to be dakshina. You have to distribute that knowledge. So Prabhupada is saying that we require this association. So this is one more situation when the word Om Tat Sat is vibrated in order to give knowledge to somebody formally through the process of initiation, Diksha. Similarly, in all kinds of performance of yajna, the object is the supreme Om Tat Sat. So we are chanting Hare Krishna. And what is our object? It is the supreme. We are not chanting Hare Krishna so that I get a nice bungalow, I get a nice car, I get a nice husband, etc., etc. The yajna, it is actually a yajna. And the object is the supreme Om Tat Sat. The word Tat Arthiyam further means offering service to anything which represents the supreme, including such service as cooking and helping in the Lord's temple. All right, so this is Om Tat Sat. When you're cooking or you're offering, let me help out by getting the bhoga, by getting the flowers, by sweeping the temple, or any kind of work for broadcasting the glories of the Lord. So this is Om Tat Sat. Just see how Prabhupada is taking us deeper and deeper. These supreme words, Om Tat Sat, are thus used in many ways to perfect all activities and make everything perfect. So if I've done something, I say Om Tat Sat, Govinda Namo Namaha. You know the story? This person had what, a basket of puff rice, right? And you know how light puff rice is, right? So a wind came and the whole basket were flying off. I mean, the puff rice was flying off the basket. So as it was flying off, he said, Govinda Namo Namaha, let it be for Govinda, right? Let it be for Govinda. So any work that I'm doing, I know I'm the loser. I'm losing all my wealth. I'm losing my earning. It's flying off. Let it be for the Supreme Lord. Om Namo. What I said, Govinda Namo Namaha. Om Tat Sat. Then, whatever you're losing, Om Tat Sat, let it be for Krishna. Somebody borrows money from you and never gives it back. Om Tat Sat. You didn't give to that person. You expected the person to give it back to you. He or she never gave it back to you. What do? Om Tat Sat. Let it be gone in the account of the Supreme Lord. Om Tat Sat are thus used in many ways to perfect all activities and make everything complete. Such a beautiful purport, right? So you will remember what is the meaning of Om Tat Sat next time you hear it. What are the mysterious words? Om Tat Sat. All right, Anupama Mishra, read. This is the last verse.
अश्रद्धया हुतं दत्तं तपस्तप्तं कृतं च यत् असदित्युच्यते पार्थ न च तत्प्रेत्य नो इह. Anything done as sacrifice, charity, or penance without faith in the Supreme, O son of Pritha, is impermanent. It is called asat and is useless both in this life and the next. Purport: anything done without the transcendental objective, whether it be sacrifice, charity, or penance, is useless. Therefore, in this verse, it is declared that such activities are abominable. Everything should be done for the Supreme in Krishna consciousness. Without such faith and without the proper guidance, there can never be any fruit. In all the Vedic scriptures, faith in the Supreme is advised. In the pursuit of all Vedic instructions, the ultimate goal is the understanding of Krishna. No one can obtain success without following this principle. Therefore, the best course is to work from the very beginning in Krishna consciousness under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. That is the way to make everything successful. In the conditional state, people are attracted to worshipping demigods, ghosts, or yakshas like Kubera. The mode of goodness is better than the modes of passion and ignorance, but one who takes directly to Krishna consciousness is transcendental to all three modes of material nature. Although there is a process of gradual elevation, if one, by the association of pure devotees, takes directly to Krishna consciousness, this is the best way. And that is recommended in this chapter. To achieve success in this way, one must first find the proper spiritual master and receive training under his direction. Then one can achieve faith in the Supreme. When that faith matures in course of time, it is called love of God. This love is the ultimate goal of the living entities. One should therefore take to Krishna consciousness directly. That is the message of this 17th chapter.
So this is, so Om Tat Sat is referring to this Sambandh, Om, Sambandh, establishing the Sambandh, Abhiday, the execution, and the goal, Sat, Abhiday, Prayojan. So now this is the conclusion of this chapter. So anything done as sacrifice, charity, or penance without faith in the Supreme is simply fruitless. You invest so much time and energy in it, but it is actually fruitless. So that's why people are so disappointed. They work so hard, and what did they get in return? Nothing. So therefore, as human beings, why are we studying this Bhagavad Gita? Why are we distributing Bhagavad Gita? Meaning we are distributing knowledge. What is that knowledge that we are distributing to the people? We want them to know there is a style of living. There is a way of living. There is a purpose in life. A human being has something to achieve. It is not just to live like animals, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. So everything should be done for the Supreme in Krishna consciousness. So we require guide. So why Prabhupada is sending all his disciples all over the world? Disciples, grand disciples, great grand disciples. Why? To give that knowledge that, look, you are a human being and you are locked in the body. The soul is locked in the body. in different types of bodies. Now you have come to the human form. Here's your chance to come out. Here is your chance to come out. Do not misuse this body. And there is a process. So we have, so here Prabhupada, so we have to work on the guidance of Guru. So Prabhupada is extending himself. He's not sitting and waiting when the student will come. He himself is going to the students. He's actually canvassing them, pulling them. So many ways. So here Prabhupada is speaking about those who are, in the three gunas, so they worship the devas, ghosts, or actually, there is somebody who's guarding a treasurer, right? The treasury, there is a treasury locked somewhere, and there is a yaksha that is guarding this, right? So they worship the yaksha. So they say, yes, somebody is taking care of my home. So there is a yaksha that is taking care of my home. So people do all this. So Prabhupada is saying that, no, we should not do this type of activities. We should do straight Krishna consciousness. We should not take like the step by step, when I will reach the goal. No, we have to take the process. Although there is a process, gradual elevation, if one by the association of pure devotees takes directly to Krishna consciousness. So if somebody is ready to just surrender and worship Krishna, we can achieve success. So here Prabhupada is describing Shraddha. First, there should be Shraddha. Then there should be association of devotees, and that's Sadhu Sangha. Sadhu Sangha. Then Bhajana Kriya. We receive Diksha and we receive the training under him. Then we achieve Nishtha. We achieve faith. And when the faith matures, it becomes Prema. So this is the whole process. From Shraddha to Prema. All right, so thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much.
Vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
So we'll just keep you, informed of what's going to happen, but then because schedule is up and down right now, so then we will just see what we do. We complete this chapter 18, right? That definitely we will complete by this year. All right. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.